Hi everyone, Liberty Doll here, and today I'm talking Pokemon. Well, really I'm talking about voluntary action versus the use of force in the context of Pokemon, but Pokemon! I'm sure everyone has heard those stories of like little kids losing their lemonade stands or getting their forts torn down because they didn't pull the proper permits. There's a similar situation that's happening right now in Milwaukee County regarding Pokemon Go. So recently, the Milwaukee County Parks Director actually sent a letter to the CEO of Niantic, which is the company responsible for developing the Pokemon Go game, and demanded that the company remove all Pokestops, gyms, and spawn areas from all of the parks in Milwaukee County. The Parks Department says that Niantic did not go through the proper channels and did not follow city ordinances because they did not request permits to actually use the park in the game. So the letter demanded that they not only remove all the stops and spawn points and things like that, but also demanded that after they are removed, Niantic go back and file applications for permits for each individual spot. So each individual gym, spawn point, Pokestop, whatever within the game. And the county is saying that they need to apply for a virtual geocaching permit. But just because they apply doesn't guarantee that they're actually going to be giving the permission to use the park as they've been using it. And the Parks Department cites unanticipated and negative consequences of Pokemon-related activities, such as parking and traffic issues, compacted and damaged turf, littering, risks to flora and fauna, and non-compliance with park hours. Now they're saying that this is just because of these issues, but in a recent interview with one of the local news companies, the Milwaukee County executive actually complained that what's going on is the park is not making any money off the usage of the park, the game, or the people that are there and having little snack stands or, selling fan art and things like that to the players, because these people are little entrepreneurs that didn't get business permits. They're not paying taxes on this money. Niantic didn't pay the money to apply for the permits. They're not paying anything to the park department to use the park, and so the county isn't making any money off Pokemon Go, and that's the real problem here. Now, the park department didn't include in the letter what would happen if Niantic doesn't comply and doesn't remove the stops and spawn points, but they are holding a meeting September 7th at 6:30 about this issue, and it's not really clear whether the community is invited to that or not. So that's how they're trying to solve the problem using force. Now, there was a similar issue in the town of Fairhaven, Massachusetts regarding Fort Phoenix. In this instance, the locals and the voluntary caretaker of the site were complaining about similar issues. They were complaining about traffic issues. They were complaining that people weren't complying with the park hours. They were complaining about damage done to the area, compacted turf, litter, things like that. But instead of directly petitioning to Niantic to block the game from the area, they instead held a community meeting and invited Pokemon players to attend. And once they did that, what came out of this? Great things. So the Pokemon players went and they collected donations for the park to pay for increased trash pickup, to pay to have porta potties put on site, to pay for more trash cans to be put on site to collect the litter. They also organized a trash pickup day where players went and actually picked up the litter in the area. On top of that, they came to an agreement that players, instead of staying until 10 o'clock, would leave the park earlier at 9, try to keep the noise down, stay off the beach, whatever. The park hours thing, they do put police on site at 9 o'clock to make sure that people are leaving, but to my knowledge, no one's been arrested, cars haven't been towed, nothing like that. So, I think that this is a great example of what could happen if we use voluntary action and actually come together and, people have an opportunity to do things that they want to do and find their own solutions rather than relying on lawyers and, government and angry letters and permits and ordinances and things like that. Instead, this is about people coming together and finding a voluntary solution. And I think that really that's one of the many things that liberty is about, is not using force, because good ideas don't require force. Good ideas, people want to do them out of, kindness and voluntarily and things like that. And that's what happened in Fort Phoenix and Fairhaven. People were given the opportunity to come up with their own solutions, and that's what happened. And I actually visited the fort after this whole thing went through, and you know what, now it's clean, it's pretty quiet considering the amount of people that's there. There's no litter anywhere, there's no damage anywhere, and everybody's happy and the locals are happy, and it's a great thing. So I just think that that's a great example again of the use of force versus voluntary action. If Pokemon ever starts doing like friending or player versus player battles or trading or anything like that, and there's like a lookup feature, you guys can find me. Of course, I'm the Liberty Doll. Well, actually, Liberty Doll on Pokemon. And until then, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. All right? Thanks for watching. Bye.